what up, baby? It's the feature presentation podcast where movies and music meet. This is DJ Sus One. We got my co-host here, Kenya. What's going on?
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
So, we got a big boxer out here in these streets on the podcast today. Olympic silver medalist, all right? Correct me if I'm wrong. 19 fights, 19 wins, no losses.
Yeah.
You don't seem too cocky about it, but let's introduce him. Shakur Stevenson is here, bro.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's good, brother? Welcome to the podcast.
Ain't nothing. I'm just staying focused, ready for Saturday.
Nice. Explain ready for Saturday. Ready to whip ass?
Yeah, I'm about to beat dude up.
That's what I like to hear.
Badly. It's gonna be a massacre.
So real quick, because you're new here, and I'm just I actually met you when we interviewed Michael B. Jordan, but this is my first time actually talking to you. Explain real quick how you got into boxing.
My grandfather got me into boxing when I was 5 years old.
Wow, young.
He used to be he was a boxing coach, and when he was he used to play like baseball, but it was it wasn't like on a super high level.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up going to one of his baseball games. He brought some of his fighters with him, and when he brought his fighters, I found it cool being that they was boxers. So I asked them, what do they do every day? I started asking them a whole bunch of questions. Then I want to say like a couple of days later, he ended up taking me to the gym.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you first, I like to ask people who fight for a living this because, I don't like getting hit in my face. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. When you first, now I'm sure it's like, you're used to it. It's like science. You're one of the greats. But when you first initially were sparring to start boxing, you was getting hit in the face. There was no thought in your mind like, damn, I don't know if this is for me.
Nah, not at all. Just because my grandfather, he kind of taught me the art of boxing. And the art of boxing is to hit and don't get hit. So
Heard you.
even when I got hit, it was like, okay, as long as I get my defense better, I'm not going to get hit no more.
That's good. So you grew up in Newark?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does it feel coming back home and fighting in Newark, and what's some of the emotions that come along with that?
It's definitely a great feeling to come home and fight in front of your friends, your family, teachers, principals, just the entire city of Newark. I know that they behind me, and the support from them means everything to me. And when I'm going in there, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the little kids that go to the schools that I done went to, that's going through the struggle right now and that don't got nobody really to look up to. I'm thinking about them, and I'm trying to make sure that I show them the right way. I want to perform for them and let them know everything that I'm doing is possible.
Yeah, and you were visiting some of the schools while you've been here. What was that like, going back to some of your high schools and elementary school?
It was great seeing kids that remind me of myself. Like they still bad. They talking a whole bunch of over the teachers and principals, and I mean it's great just to be in front of them, and I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah.
Yo, so this podcast is about, like, we do movies and TV, and you're going to have one of the biggest fights televised on ESPN.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How does that feel to represent Newark on ESPN consistently, like, for this fight, man? Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
I'm putting the city on my back. So, like, every fight I go out there, I make sure I got some Newark on my trunks, or if it's on my robe. But however it go, I'm making sure that I represent my city. I think anybody that's from Newark, I'm gonna represent Newark to the fullest, and I think that's who I am. So I gotta keep being that same person.
What does a training session for you feel like? Like I had the opportunity. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. He was on a record of mine called Champion, and I had the opportunity to see him train right in front of me, and he was on some, like, just me watching him, I got tired. Yeah. So who do you look up to, and what is your training like? Do you train like those guys? Like, because I know you've watched.
For sure. I mean, as of like right now, I would say I'm definitely training harder than like what Floyd is doing right now, because I'm younger. Like, I'm about to reach my prime year. So, like, I'm doing probably twice as much as, like, what Floyd was doing from what you've seen. But I wouldn't know. But that's what I would think. But I look up to Floyd. I look up to Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, Sugar Ray Leonard. I watch all the greats. I'm a student of the game.
How do you feel about Tyson? The only reason I'm saying that is because when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, that was the guy I watched.
Tyson was a beast. He was a beast, but It's just like style wise, I look up to them because that's somebody that I try to like emulate their style. I don't really try to emulate too much Tyson into my game. I ain't really watch him as much. I like Holyfield. That's what I was really a fan of, like the Tyson era.
Yeah, that's dope. I was going to ask you anything you learned from watching those boxers that you've implemented into your own like training style.
For sure. I honestly be going back on like YouTube. I be watching like their training videos, like to see what they was doing during training. Like I see Floyd, he had a hand weights and he like punching a lot. I watch how they ran. Was they running hard? Was they having just nice little jogs? I watch everything. Like, I'm one of them real students where I gotta pay attention to everything. And once I see, I wanna try to outdo what they was doing or even emulate the same things that they was doing in their training camps.
Smart.
Do you ever get nervous? Like, do you think you'll be nervous to be on a big TV like ESPN to fight in front of everybody? Like, literally, it's different from fighting in the smaller arenas, and your career just keeps building and building and building.
I think it's weird with me. Like, I think I get nervous days before. Like, I'll be nervous probably like today, but then once it come fight night, I'm here. Like, I'm here. I done put the work in. I know how hard I work and how hard I train. So I trust in what I done did in my training camp, and I know on fight night everything is gonna be a-okay.
So the nervousness is more about the fight, not about fighting in front of people.
Nah, I've been past. I got over that as a kid. I mean, when you fight in the amateurs and doing them shows, you go there, it's your family, it's a whole bunch of other people there watching you. So I've been got over the nerves of people being there and watching.
Mm-hmm. Where does your name come from?
Tupac.
I was about to say, is that self-explanatory?
Tupac. My mother was a big Tupac fan, so I came, around that time.
That's dope.
Did you listen to Tupac at all?
Yeah, I listened to a lot of Tupac. I actually still listen to Tupac.
Really?
Sure.
It's very. I know your name is Tupac, so I guess you were obligated to, like, well, not Tupac Shakur, but a lot of people your age, they tend not to listen to that era of hip hop. Which I'm happy that somebody is famous as you right now and inspiring is listening to hip hop from that era.
What other artists do you listen to?
I listen to a bunch of artists, but I honestly feel like music back in the day was like more meaningful. It's like,
can you say that again? Thanks.
it was more meaningful. Like it had like a meaning to everything that they used to put out. So I listen to a lot of Tupac. I listen to 50. I listen to Jay-Z, Biggie, all of them.
What do you listen to when you're working out?
I like Tupac Bomb First. I'll just listen to that. That's like something that get me like going. Like I listen to 50 Cent, his whole album. What was that album?
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Mm-hmm. That whole album. I'm listening to that. Jay-Z. I listen to all old heads for real. I like some of the
Let's
new
change the
people.
language. No old heads. Classics.
Classic. I got you.
So you excited about April 8th?
I'm very excited. I'm ready to just put on a show. I think that I want to like put on a great performance for the boxing world. This is my first fight at 135 pounds, so it's about making a statement to me. Like I want to make a statement and let everybody know I'm here.
Yeah. Is it the first time you're going to be at the Prudential Center fighting?
Nah, this is like my third fight at the Prudential Center. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
What do you look for in a fight? Like, in your opponent, how do you study them to see how you're going to use your technique against them? Or do you even study them? Or do you just go in there and be like, nah, I got this, and start just listening to your trainer? Or do you actually look at old fights and study them and see their moves and try to figure out how you're going to approach that fighter?
I usually don't do that. Like,
Really?
I'm usually a person, I just go in there with the mindset like, okay, if I'm at my best, I got anybody. But this fight, I actually watched a lot more rounds of this dude than I usually would. I just, I don't know what made me do it. I just be at home kind of bored, and I just put it on and start watching, and I kind of seen some openness from him.
I feel like it's smart to look at what the other fighters doing, to know what to expect and what they are. What do you think it is about yourself, besides you're good, I know you're going to say that you haven't taken one L yet?
I think my skills. I think my grandfather taught me a valuable lesson that went with me throughout my life. Was boxing is the art of hitting without getting hit. It's the art of swimming without getting wet. And I think that carried me through my career, where I can get in the ring with just anybody. You can name them. I done been in the ring with them dudes, and I can do what I want to do to them because my art was taught to hit and don't get hit.
So the goal is to not get hit. So you're not about the knockout.
Nah,
You're about the defense.
I mean, the knockout comes that's gonna come with age, with size, all that stuff comes as you go on. Like Saturday I may catch this dude with a clean shot. He may go out, but I'm not the
You may.
Yeah, I may catch him with a
Or
real
you are.
good. Nah, I may. You never know. I'm gonna catch him with some clean shots.
Nice.
You just never know how tough a guy, because it be durable guys sometimes. So you never know how tough they could be. They could take a real good punishment. Like that may be what they're best at. So you may not get them out. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I was taught how to hit and don't get hit. I think that's more valuable than being the biggest, strongest dude. That's why you see like a Tyson Fury beat Wilder, and I got mad respect for Wilder. Don't take that wrong with me saying that, but you'll see that because Tyson Fury was more kind of skilled than he was.
I want to ask one more question because this is a TV movie podcast as well. They put this in my questions to ask about Creed, and you were there at the Michael B. Jordan episode. Since you're a professional boxer and you kick ass, when you see these movies like Creed, like, does it look absolutely fake to you? Does it seem real to you, being a professional boxer and you being in that ring and taking blows and giving blows to the head?
Far as like their technique.
Yeah, their technique, just the whole thing. Can you, like, for instance, the movie Juice, classic movie from the early 90s,
Yeah.
Omar Epps was a DJ. He was playing Q. I could tell that was fake scratching. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could just tell. Can you tell, like, nah, this is just not?
Yeah, you could tell for sure. Like, when you box, you know whether...
Because I can't tell.
No, yeah, you can tell. Like, you can tell...
It's a movie.
Like, you can tell which fighters in the movies is actual boxers and who is, like, not really a boxer. Like,
Cool.
okay,
So
he
let's get
probably
to
be a
it.
boxer.
Is
So,
Michael B.
like,
Jordan and Jonathan Majors actual boxers? Not like professional boxers. Can you tell that they could box in that movie?
I could tell that Michael B. been trying to work on his game, so I could see the development throughout the movies.
Okay.
But far as, like, boxing, nah, he's not, like, that's my guy, though. He's not,
He's not a boxer. What's the hardest you ever gotten hit, and who was it?
hardest I got hit, it was by this little dude. I want to say, real small dude. He caught me with like a hook. I was sparring him, and it ain't do nothing to me, but I felt it. Like I was like, oh, like I was surprised though. It was Gary Russell Jr. I had sparred him a long time ago. We did 8 rounds. I probably was like 17. He a grown man, but I'm doing real good. Like I'm nice. But he ended up catching me with like he sat down on a hard hook. Boom. And I felt it. I'm like, man, this dude kind of strong. Like, I think that was like one of the hardest I got punched before.
Forget the hardest hit. Who gave you the best fight? Was there any fight out of the 19 fights you had, the 19 wins you had, that you were like, wow, this is a tough one? Like you thought you might not win?
Nah, I ain't never had no tough fight. Like I knew,
I love to hear
I
it.
knew every fight. Like as the rounds going, I'm smoking this dude. It's over with. Ain't no way I'm losing.
Interesting. I want to talk about mindset for a second because you seem like you have a very strong mindset and you're very confident, which is great. What do you do to get yourself into that kind of a space? Like, what's your self-talk like?
Nah, I be kind of reading books. I'm like a dude. I sit back and I told you I watch, I read. I just started reading a bunch of books that like it's good for you, like your mental. Like it's a bunch of sports psychology books that'll help you out as far as like athletes. So I would recommend it for like the athletes that need it. Like somebody like me, I'm just doing it just to up my game in every avenue.
That's good.
But you're talking about mindset as far as like training, right?
Well, no.
There's no way he's reading books before the fight.
Well, no, even just
am.
self-talk.
Really? Like the day
yeah.
of?
Not the day of, but like,
I was like,
this
Leading
week
up
I've
to.
been sitting back in my bed reading books.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. What are you reading right now?
It's a book called Mind Gym. I read it when I was like a little kid, but now I'm starting back to read it again. I'm enjoying it.
What mindset do you have to get into right before you walk out in that fight the day of? Do you have to like make yourself angry? Like, is there some
kill or
technique?
be killed. Kill or be killed. That's how I look at it. I ain't gonna let this guy smoke me, so I gotta go in there and make sure that I smoke this guy.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to see you fight.
I'm excited too.
Yes.
Now we're gonna be there, man. We rooting on you. 20 for 20. Is there anything else that we want to talk to him about?
Oh, I know you're a dad. That's super
yeah.
important.
Yeah,
Super important.
I mean, my daughter mean everything to me. That's like, I love my daughter so much.
Does she come to the fights?
She ain't come to no fights yet, but this might be the first fight that she go to.
Nice. Nice.
All right,
Well, this is excellent. It was great talking to you.
Nice talking to y'all too.
Yeah.
we appreciate you coming to the podcast, man. I'm looking forward to having more conversation with you when you're 25 for 25, 30 for 30.
Yeah, for sure.
And
40 and up.
here we go. And I'm looking forward to the fight this Saturday.
Appreciate
My brother.
you. Appreciate
All right, Shakur Stevenson, the feature presentation, baby.